We'll move on to 4, discussion on concerns at the Sac City Aquatic Center.
Okay. This is the topic I was under the impression everybody was here about. But I guess I'll start. I know I have received several emails, and I'm actually quite disappointed in the amount of people that actually got in touch with me and had issues and or complaints with the way things happened at the pool and did not show up here to actually voice their concern. I mean, I understand, some of the issues that were brought to my attention were the fact of the pool opening late, people standing outside waiting after 1 o'clock, and the guards were supposedly witnessed swimming and were not opening the door at 1 o'clock when it was supposed to open. Some other issues were not having sufficient concessions available to people. Others were, apparently there's pictures on Facebook that was brought to my attention of older children going down the slides in tubes or backwards when children are supposed to go down the slide forward. And I'm certain, Mike, that there's probably a lot of people that respect you in the community for the job you hold, as well as being a principal, as well as running the pool. And I'm assuming that's probably why people were not here. I can only assume that. Other things that were brought to my attention were extended rest breaks. Is this news to everybody, or is this everything, what I'm saying so far, that pretty much some people have heard? I mean, I'm not sitting here
Right, I've
speaking.
had the same calls. I've had them all summer long. I've been calling Gavin on them just to have me check in a few things.
I've heard about this probably a week and a half ago when it came to my attention. So nothing prior to a week and a half ago was ever brought to my attention. I can only assume.
I had them all summer long.
Okay.
Are you here to speak about any of this?
Yes.
Please feel free to.
I've never been to a meeting before, so I don't know how it goes.
So there you are.
Do you want to start? Yeah. I need to say
Go
that.
ahead, Amanda.
I'm not here to cause any problems by any means. And I live here. I want to see the place go good. I want, some of the disrespect that older people have been shown up there by some of the younger lifeguards hasn't been good. Just things on top of things. Extended rest breaks. When you're there, and the rest breaks are supposed to be 10 minutes, they're called right on 10 to the hour, but sometimes it's been quarter after to 20 after before you go back in. Doesn't happen all the time, but a lot of the times it does, and it's hard to keep your kids out of the water. And when you're up there for an hour or two to swim because it closes at 7 o'clock, you don't get off work and home and get your kids ready till 5:30. You don't want to sit out of the pool for up to a half an hour waiting to get back in. Anyway, that's one of the things. So one night I was up there and I got back into the pool with my children, and I probably should not have. I took my little ones in because we were waiting and it was past the hour. So we got into the water, and I was approached then about a half an hour later by a lifeguard that could have probably been a little bit nicer about it. He said, "We need to have a little discussion here," and kind of chewed me out. And I said, "Well, at least this brought it to your attention." He went on to say, I just kind of called him on lots of things. I just said, there's lots of things here that should probably be changed. Well, we have things to do back in the concession area, and they can't always get back out here. I don't know what that is, because a lot of the times we see children on their cell phones, and I've been there before, and the slides were off, the diving board was closed, and all of the play toys or whatever were off. And there was one lifeguard out, and there were 4 lifeguards inside. And there weren't a ton of people at the pool. I'd say probably 3 or 4 families. It was in the evening. And I asked if we could, maybe it was a Sunday afternoon, I don't know, but I was asked if we could, or I asked if they were going to turn the slides on. and they didn't really respond. And then I asked if we could go off the diving board, and the lifeguard that was the one lifeguard that was out said, no, there has to be a lifeguard over by the diving board to go off. So we said, okay, we won't. Well, then I went in and asked them, can we go off the diving board? And as they were all sitting down in there, they turned around and said, oh yeah, just go off. We didn't, because I didn't know what we were supposed to do, and I didn't want to get whistled at. Just things like that, you know. There's just a lot of, and maybe it's just kids today, maybe I just don't get it, I don't know. There's just been a lot of, I don't know, when there's 20 people in line waiting to get a concession, and one lifeguard will get up, and they're all on break, because you go up there on your break. They're all on break, and they're sitting there. And us as parents stand there and watch them sit there, well, one might get up and help you. And so you're waiting in line for 10 minutes, the rest break, I don't know. There's just a lot of little things that I think need to be addressed for children up there, kids, whatever, teenagers. I don't know. I don't know. And the one day that I went up there and it was late, and I know it was only 5 minutes late, but all summer long having it happen, and I knocked on the door and they pretty much yelled at me and said, kids, knock it off. I'm like, oh, it's not a kid, it's a parent, are you going to open? And they just the way that they handle things, I guess. And I've never had anything bad happen with Mike. That's not what I'm saying. It's the kids that are left up there to run it. And I don't know what needs to happen. I just know that we have a beautiful center. I want to see it go well. I love that my kids have enjoyed themselves there this summer. They're little. They don't know about any of this stuff. They go there, they swim, they enjoy it. I think we're very lucky to have it here. Just hope that it continues to... I just want to know what we can do to make it better, so that we don't have all this grumbling in the community. So.
Thank you, Amanda.
Almost the same stuff as her. But my biggest thing is just the rest breaks. I've swam here all my life, and it's been 10 minutes. And last year we didn't have this big of a problem. But like I would see the lifeguards going to their posts, and I'd kind of be like, you know what took you so long? And they'd always have an excuse of somebody came on, and so we had to talk to them, and we couldn't get to our posts, or we had to take a phone call. And you know, that's fine, but we paid our membership to swim our hours. We, like she said, we get out right on time. They never miss a beat on a minute past that time. But getting us back into the water, it never was 10 minutes. It was always past that. And if it needs to be longer than that, then that needs to be addressed to everybody. Because swimming 40 minutes and being out for 20, you know, my membership money was there to swim, not to sit out and have my 2-year-old want to get into the water because that's what he's sitting by. So,
Thank you. One other thing that we didn't encounter this a whole lot. I believe last Thursday we called up to the pool. It was about 2 o'clock. My kids wanted to go swimming. It was a yucky morning out. I give them that. It was not real nice out. The sun came out. It was hot. They answered the phone and said, well, we came up here at 1 and the pool, we opened the pool, but nobody's up here swimming, so we're going to close. I want to know, so it's nice out, and say I was working all day, which I was, and I get off at 5 o'clock and it's beautiful out and there's no pool to go to, and I paid my money in advance to use the pool all summer. You know, if I was paying a daily admission and went up there, oh, can't pay to get in today, they're not open. But, I mean, how are we going to remedy that? You know, going up there and having set hours like regular businesses do, and you can't, you know, you'd be mad if you went down to Cattleman's and they were supposed to be open at a certain time, and you were ready to eat a meal, and you went up and saw a big sign saying, sorry, closed tonight. I don't know. And maybe I don't understand all that goes on, but that's why I'm here. I want to know maybe what, maybe there's stuff that I don't know.
and I don't know how many out-of-towners we get. You know, we're in competition with Storm Lake and Carroll now, and you know, if I was coming from out of town, I probably wouldn't come back.